The word chupacabra comes from Spanish, meaning goat sucker, a name given to this creature due to its alleged method of killing livestock by draining them of blood. The first major wave of chupacabra sightings happened in Puerto Rico in the late 1980s and early 1990s, when farmers reported finding their animals dead, bloodless, and mysteriously mutilated. Descriptions of the creature began pouring in: red glowing eyes, sharp fangs, spines along its back, and the ability to hop like a kangaroo. Some said it walked on 2 legs, while others swore it moved on 4. Regardless of the details, one thing was clear: the chupacabra had become a nightmare for farmers across Latin America and the southern United States. Stories of blood-sucking monsters aren't new. For centuries, humans have spun tales of terrifying creatures like the Loch Ness Monster in Scotland or the Yeti in the Himalayas. The chupacabra, however, is a more recent legend, born in the last few decades. But like most myths, it quickly took on a life of its own, spreading across continents, evolving with every retelling. Initially, the chupacabra was described as a mysterious predator, lurking in forests, hunting livestock. But as the legend grew, so did the variety of its appearances. In some places, it was depicted as a reptilian-like creature, with scaly green skin, red eyes, and sharp fangs. Others portrayed it as a hairless, dog-like figure. Television shows, the internet, and pop culture amplified these stories, creating a global fascination. Whether it was a real-life cryptid or just a figment of our imaginations, the chupacabra became an enduring symbol of fear. Here's where things get even more interesting, because no 2 stories describe the chupacabra in the exact same way. Some say it has alien-like features, perhaps even speculating it's an escaped genetic experiment or a creature from another world. The one commonality, however, is that it's described as being roughly the size of an average dog, but much more menacing. Its glowing red eyes, large fangs, and a pronounced backbone sometimes with spines are details that send shivers down your spine. But why does this creature prey on livestock? And why the fascination with blood? The answer lies in the reports. Witnesses often claim that the chupacabra behaves like a vampire. It drains the blood from its victims, usually goats, chickens, or other farm animals. This earned it the chilling nickname goat sucker. Farmers would wake up to find their animals with puncture wounds, sometimes with their bodies eerily sliced open as if by a scalpel. These stories sparked panic across the countryside. Was this some sort of predator that had yet to be discovered? Or was it something supernatural? Now, let's pause for a moment and consider this. While the stories are terrifying, could there be a scientific explanation for the chupacabra sightings? Could these attacks simply be the work of known predators like coyotes or wild dogs? After all, infection and disease can cause animals to behave erratically, and gases expanding in a carcass can make a body look as though it was split open. In many cases, animals like coyotes suffering from mange, a skin disease caused by parasitic mites, can lose their fur, giving them a mangy, hairless, almost supernatural appearance. Some experts suggest that these sick animals, desperate for food, could be responsible for livestock deaths. When examined closely, many of these chupacabra attacks have turned out to be the work of wild animals. But what about the blood-sucking? Surely wild dogs or coyotes don't drain their prey dry like vampires, right? As it turns out, certain insects, such as blood-drinking flies, can feed on the blood of freshly killed animals. This could explain why some farmers found their livestock bloodless after an attack. It's not the predator that drained the blood, it's the aftermath. Now, let's explore some of the other theories about what the chupacabra might be. Some people claim that it's a creature from another planet, an escaped pet of alien visitors. Others think it could be the result of secret genetic experiments gone wrong. Then, there are those who believe it's a rare, undiscovered species of giant vampire bat, or perhaps a surviving relic from ancient times. There's even a theory that suggests the chupacabra is a manifestation of fear, a product of the human mind. In times of uncertainty, communities often create stories to explain the unexplainable, and the chupacabra could very well be one of these collective fears given form. So, is the chupacabra real? This is where we must be careful as cryptozoologists and scientists. On one hand, it's important to acknowledge the stories and reports from farmers and residents who claim to have witnessed the creature. But on the other hand, science demands evidence. So far, the evidence for the chupacabra is largely anecdotal, based on sightings, legends, and assumptions. Many reported sightings have been debunked as coyotes or dogs suffering from disease. And while the tales are compelling, the actual proof is lacking. But whether it's fact or fiction, one thing's for sure: the chupacabra has become an icon of modern folklore. You'll find its image on t-shirts, mugs, and even in protests, like in 1996, when a man dressed as a chupacabra during a demonstration in Mexico City. It's a symbol that resonates with people, a reminder that even in our modern world, the unknown still holds a certain power over us. The chupacabra, whether real or imagined, has captured our collective imagination. Whether it's a product of fear, a misunderstood predator, or something entirely unknown, it continues to fascinate and terrify. So, is it fact or fiction? You be the judge. Thank you for joining me on this chilling journey into the legend of the Chupacabra. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and let me know in the comments what other cryptids or creatures you'd like me to explore next. Until then, stay curious, stay safe, and keep an eye on the woods, because you never know what might be lurking in the shadows.